Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Uncle Matt's Cookery Lessons. Going to do something a little bit unusual you may not have heard of yet. Cured egg yolks. Delicious with pasta and stuff. Really nice. Hello, gonna make some cured egg yolks. Yeah, egg yolks, cured. It's a bit weird, but pretty nice actually. Okay, you will see on the screen a list of spices that I happen just to have knocking around in my store cupboard that I decided to add to this mixture, the salt mixture. So it's about half a teaspoon of each one of those. I say this is it's very forgiving, this recipe. Just, you know, selection of spices that you fancy, or not at all. You could put a pinch of sugar in there as well if you like, but really put your elbow into it. Look at him go, working up a sweat there. When I think I've got it reasonably powdery, I'm going to mix it with this salt. So anyone that watched my last video, if you didn't, why not, salt baked sea bream, you'll realise that I am keeping the salt industry afloat through the lockdown. So anyway, combine the spices with the salt, give them a bit of a whisk to combine nice and evenly, like so, and then with your hands, you know, just look, is it nicely mixed in? Yeah, it is. You've done a really nice job there, so give yourself a round of applause. Select a dish, not metal. This is like a earthenware, whatever, like an oven dish. Plastic would be alright. Glass would be fine. And arrange a layer of salt in the bottom. We must make sure that these egg yolks are going to be completely encased in this cure. That's very handy to use the bottom of the egg to create like a divot, a well, for upon the egg yolks to sit, where they're going to spend between 5 to 10 days or so. But then I thought to myself, I'm worried that I might have gone a bit too close to the bottom there, so I sprinkle in a bit more of the cure, and then I'm going to remake those wells. Then I'll be fully confident that they're not going to be coming into contact with the bottom of the dish. There you go. So once you've done that, we're going to separate the eggs and pop them in the wells. So this is quite new, this thing. I believe it's quite trendy, en vogue. And obviously, anyone who watches my channel, you'll realise I am a very fashionable... No, I'm not. But, you know, I like this idea. I've seen it done a few times. Anyway, this is how I decided to separate the eggs this time. Look at that fresh egg. How elastic that is. Put it out, but you could do the old traditional, pass it from one half of the shell into the other. But I wanted to put these in with my hands to make absolutely certain that they didn't get damaged on the way in. Because if they did, you really kind of start again. Because you need that membrane around the egg yolk to stay intact. Then what you do is you forget to put the camera on while you bury the first one in the cure, and then quickly turn it on for the rest of them so people will know what on earth you're doing. And you can see this sort of creating a mound, and I like that because it's going to make these easier to find afterwards. So just chuck on all of your cure, you might as well get it all on. And then I decided to mark those points if it wasn't absolutely clear with a little sprig of thyme, just because it made me feel better. You don't have to do that bit. Peppercorn would be handy as well if you want to do it that way. Cling film or surround wrap nice and tightly, right on there, the date, and then pop that in the fridge and forget about it. I forgot about it for 5 days, and then this is my next day off, and I thought, well, okay, let's do these. So dig them out, and you can see how the salt has gone all sort of damp and sandy around it, which is good. It means it's drawn out the moisture, and we have achieved lactobacillus. Science lessons here as well. Yeah, it's the lactic acid thing again. That is what the curing is, and a salt just aids that interaction, that scientific exchange. I don't know what I'm talking about. Someone does, probably. Anyway, give them a nice thorough wash in some cold tap water, and really, you know, try to get all that salt and bits of spices off there. And now we're going to dry them on a bit of kitchen towel. You don't have to worry about this too much, but yeah, just for a moment, marvel at how wonderful it looks. And it looks kind of like an apricot, really, doesn't it? Like a dried apricot. Anyway, so give them a dab dry, and then you're going to get your dehydrator ready. Now, what's that? You don't have a dehydrator? No, neither do I. Who does? If you've got a dehydrator, you can use it for this, but we don't have one, do we? So we're going to use our oven. So we're going to sit, look at it, lovely. We're going to sit these pretty little things on a cooling rack over a tray. Going to put your oven on a nice low temperature. And to be honest with you, the summer we're having at the moment here in the UK, you probably don't even need to put the oven on. It's that warm. Right, it's not that warm. A couple of hours, maybe even 3 hours. I wouldn't do any more than that. You don't want these to be bone dry. They might sort of break when you try to use them. And that's it. You can wrap those up in bits of tin foil, keep them in the fridge indefinitely for really quite a long time. But I thought it was rather a boring video if I just showed you that. So let's use them, shall we? So let's make a nice little pasta con funghi, or, you know, pasta with mushrooms. Sauteed some mushrooms. No salt, guys. A little bit of salt in the water, but really not very much because, you know, the rest of the ingredients are quite salty. Little knob of butter. We're going to use this sort of technique where you use the starchy water along with a bit of fat to emulsify the sort of cacio e pepe style. I added a bit of parmesan in there, but I'm thinking next time I use them, I'm not going to use any parmesan at all because this is almost like a substitute for parmesan. Try to do a nice presentation, give up, just dump it in a bowl. But you know what? It still looks nice, doesn't it? I did put a bit of extra parmesan on, but there you go, whacking loads of this beautiful, savoury, cured egg. And because it's an egg, like carbonara, when you mix it, especially with the moisture there, it sets again. It creates a little bit more of a sauce, like an emulsion sauce. Look at it. And it's just added a really lovely savoury richness to an already delicious bowl of pasta, but made it even more deliciouser. So quickly eat some of that. Arrogantly put your fork down and stride off like in a movie, a guy walking away slowly from an explosion. Caesar salad. Anyone? Caesar salad? Why not? Bit of anchovy, bit of parmesan, some croutons, some gems, and that lovely garlicky mayonnaise. And shaved, cured egg yolk, of course. And when people come, they're going to go, what have you done there? What's that stuff? And you'll just tell them, you know, it's cured egg yolk. All nonchalant like. Have a taste and don't forget to put a bit of that egg yolk on there. Anyway, I'm going to hand you back over to me. Cured egg yolk. It's very nice. Let's have another go just on its own. So quelle surprise, it's eggy. And it's clearly salty. So if you're using it, do use restraint with salt in other ways. Cut back there. But I say with a Caesar salad, this is really nice. Lovely. Yeah. Pasta was a revelation though. I think even if you just did boiled some pasta, some spaghetti, whatever, load of pepper, and that, maybe not even any parmesan, just lots and lots of that, it's going to blow you away. It's such a nice flavour, and it emulsifies. So it rehydrates with the liquid, with the water, the steam in the pasta, and forms that that rich sauce texture to it. Fantastic. Really, really nice. Have a go. Cured egg yolks. And that will keep, by the way, I'd like to say indefinitely. Obviously it's going to have some sort of fridge life, but I would say at least a couple of months. And anyway, I'll stop waffling. Have a go doing some cured egg yolks of your own, and let me know how it goes. See you soon. Bye.